Okay, so I thought that while I'm cutting potatoes, I'm gonna make mashed potatoes and meatloaf in the Instant Pot. But while I'm doing that, I thought I would discuss visas and moving to Mexico and then to Spain and how we were able to do that. So basically for, I don't know, 10 years. I might get interrupted. I got my knife. For 10 years or so, my husband has been utilizing Google Adsense as a way to supplement our income. So we have an LLC registered in the United States. He's like a computer genius. And that was how we supported ourselves and paid our bills. And I use us lightly because I'm a stay-at-home mom. So anyway, that's how he provides for us. I dropped a potato. Got it. All right, so anyway, he had the LLC and he was making money with Google AdSense on a supplementary basis. And before we had kids, I was a teacher. All right, so then our kids come and, well, our one kid came and I decided to stay home, and we moved from a high cost of living state to a low cost of living state. And that lowered our bills. It helped us to pay off some debt and get in a better position financially. And he maintained his work from the previous state. And he became better adept to working remotely. This was in 2015. Then he continued like his LLC and working remotely and traveling back to the other state. And all the while he was trying to grow his passive income so that he could be more location independent. And eventually he got the Google money up to where we could afford to live a basic, have all of our basic needs covered in Mexico just off the passive income. So that would make us somewhat financially able to move to another country. Like $2,000 a month will cover your expenses in quite a few countries, including Mexico. So we went to Mexico on a visa using the financial, they have financial requirements for their visas, and we were able to use the passive income that we now had and our LLC income. And since he had been working remotely from state to state, he continued doing that. So now he was fully remote and living in Mexico, and we had basically two sources of income, the AdSense and the LLC. Okay, so then that was in 2018 that we moved to Mexico on a visa, a residency visa. And then, as you know, COVID hit in 2019, and we, everyone's home a lot, and I was bored. And I was bored and pregnant. Not a good combination. So, well, it was actually a good combination for us. But anyway, I made the comment we really wanted to go to Europe. We've been wanting to go to Europe since we got married. It's always been something that was in the back of our mind that we were going to do. We just did not, honestly, it felt like it was impossible. How could we? And so I'm making a video, okay? You can be in here, but I'm talking. So I told him if he could make $4,000 a month with the Google AdSense stuff, that we could go to Europe. And the idea was just, go here for 3 months, go somewhere else for 3 months, somewhere else for 3 months. Not to actually live, but that maybe we could come and then go back to Mexico or whatever. Like, I really didn't think we could get residency visas because I had already looked at them the year prior and we didn't qualify. And so then me giving him a money goal like motivated him to say, I'm going to figure out how to make $4,000 a month on passive income. And he still maintained his LLC and doing that work remotely for clients in the United States. And he found out about like doing affiliate marketing, so now he had his websites with his Google AdSense, but also he had affiliates through those websites. Basically people that you advertise for and you get like a higher commission for their specific ad. I mean, you probably know what affiliates are, so he did that and he was able to increase our income with that. Like, once he doubled our income with his passive income, we were like, oh my gosh, maybe we can like travel to Europe and back and we won't be tied to having to be, in one place for very long. But we still didn't think that we could like move here. And then I researched again and I discovered that he was making enough money in passive income to qualify for the residency visa in Spain. All right, so I finally got them done. Now, where was I? The money to be able to move to Spain, we realized we had it. So that was in December of 2019 that we realized that we would be able to qualify at least with the monthly income that the consulate website said that we needed. We had it, but it was our first month making that much money. So we needed 3 months of bank statements. So we had to keep up with that, see if we could be consistent for 3 months so that we could use those 3 months of bank statements with just the passive income, no LLC income, just passive income, to meet the Spanish requirements for the visa. And yeah, gonna have to come back to this. Okay, so apparently there were no breadcrumbs at the grocery store, so I'm going to use cornflakes instead. It seems to be equal ratio, so 1 cup of breadcrumbs equals 1 cup of crushed cornflakes. And I'm gonna use my new little contraption that I posted about today. So I had that thing filled up and it's 200 mils. And this says that 1 cup is 300 mils. So I'm gonna add some more. When you live abroad, there's all kinds of things that you can't find. And you learn to get by with substitutes or go without whatever it is you're wanting to make. But I bet they have breadcrumbs at other grocery stores, just probably not this one. All right, so 200. Still not there yet. I'm gonna add some more. All right, so I have the breadcrumbs done. And now I'm going to, look at how clean the meat is. I mean, I can't even believe it. There's no blood, guts, and nothing. No liquidy crap like it is in the US. And you know what I'm talking about. So we found out in December that we thought that we would meet the financial requirements. Because internet marketing is considered passive income. So we started selling everything, not really, you know, knowing whether or not it was going to work out. We started selling everything. We started tracking everything. We started researching about living in Spain. We really wanted to leave Mexico. We had been there for, you know, almost for 2 years at that point, over 2 years. And honestly, it just didn't feel safe to us anymore. And it wasn't somewhere that we felt like we could keep our kids for the long term. I had had the baby by then, and I was not happy with the medical care I had received. And that was one thing that kept us there, was the medical care. I saw the medical care as a benefit because people speak very highly of it. But then when I actually needed it, I was not happy with it. And we were using private care. So that was kind of like the last straw for me. And then the crime. And so basically we just started preparing to leave, selling our stuff. We didn't really tell anybody we were going. We didn't know when we could go because our lease wasn't over yet. It wasn't going to be over for another year. So we had no idea like how we would be able to leave. But for sure we couldn't leave for 3 months because we needed 3 months of bank statements. And possibly we wouldn't be able to leave for 15 months because our lease did not end unless we could find a way to get out of it. It wasn't going to end until February of 2022. All right, I'm back. So without getting into all the stuff that happened with the lease, what am I doing? Basically, the lease ended a year early, and we ended up staying month to month past that point, and it was all cool with the owners. Like, they actually reached out to us and told us that our lease was ending. And on paper it wasn't. So I don't know if they had something else going on. We didn't question it because we wanted to get out of the lease early. So we were like, heck yeah. So the thing I had on the food chopper, I now have this attachment on, and it's a, what do you call it? A motion blender. I don't know. I've never used one, but I'm about to put it in this. I have all my ingredients for the meatloaf in here, and I'm gonna mix it up, and hopefully it doesn't fly everywhere. This could be bad. Okay, not so bad. I'm gonna turn the camera around so you can see. Alright, so I have the meatloaf all mixed up, and I'm going to show you what I use to make meatloaf in the Instant Pot. It's like a glass bottom, and kind of like a bundt cake thing, except it's for meatloaf, and it goes around like this, making a little pan, and then you put this little lock on it. And then you put your meatloaf in there and you put it in the Instant Pot. All right, so I got it all put together. This holds it in place. See, it's got Instant Pot logo on it. Well, anyways, it has the Instant Pot logo on it. I'm gonna put this in the Instant Pot. So I have potatoes, my insert, and then I'm gonna set this on top of it with the meatloaf in it, and then I'm gonna cook it. Okay, so while this is cooking, I'm gonna clean up and tell you, try to finish this off. So, in February, we had the minimum amount of paperwork that we needed, bank statements, you know, and so we went and applied. Now let me tell you that everybody that we talked to basically told us that we didn't qualify because our income statements were not seasoned, meaning that they have to be in an account for a certain amount of time in order to count as proof. like the money has to sit there without being touched for 6 months or something like that. That was not the case for us. All kinds of things like that. The way that we made our income was not going to qualify us. Lots of stuff. But none of it happened. We got approved, and it took 3 weeks for us to get approved in Mexico. And then we picked up our visas on a Wednesday, and by Friday we were driving our stuff back to the United States, the things that I wanted to keep, back to the US to put in storage. I sold my car, and then I flew to Mexico City. We stayed there for a week in a hotel, and then we came to Spain.